We have so far seen the first prime function, namely the primary function of a bank, which is accepting of deposits and giving of loans. Having completed it, we shall go now to the second major function of a bank, which is called the agency function. What are the various agency functions of a bank? First is remittance of funds, standing instructions, performing standing instructions as per the guidelines of the customer. Then collection of checks, collect checks or bills on behalf of the customer. Notch means National Automated Clearing House, for making small value frequently remitted money like telephone bill, etc. And then demat account, opening of a demat account to facilitate dealing in shares, and then buying and selling of foreign exchange as authorized dealer on behalf of Reserve Bank of India. These are the major agency functions of a bank. Let us see one after the other. The first major agency function is remittance. Under remittance, today there are two major products. One is NEFT and the other is RTGS. We shall see about them in detail. National Electronic Funds Transfer, NEFT, is a nationwide payment system facilitating one-to-one funds transfer. Mr. A, situated in deep Tamil Nadu, somewhere near Nagarkoil, can remit money to Mr. B, situated somewhere near Guwahati or Digbai. So it is an individual one-to-one remittance. Under this scheme, individuals, firms, corporates can electronically transfer funds from any bank branch to any other bank branch. It is a wonder. Earlier, when the demand draft days used to be there, I remember very well, I functioned in the days in which banks, major remittance was only done through demand drafts. In a case of demand drafts, you want to draw a demand draft, you can draw a demand draft only on your branch. For example, Indian Bank, in the bank in which I worked, it never had a branch in Sibakasi. For quite a large number of days, it was not having a branch in Sibakasi. Therefore, people used to come and ask me for a demand draft on Sibakasi. I don't have any mechanism for giving it on Sibakasi. Therefore, we started a branch in Sibakasi and afterwards only we could give. I cannot issue a demand draft on Canara Bank Sibakasi. It was not possible. Only I can draw a demand draft on my branch. This applies to all banks. But under NEFT, you can transfer from any money from any branch of any bank to any other branch of any other bank, and the only condition it must be NEFT enabled. That is, it must have this IFSC code. That is one of the this NEFT is a great revolution that had taken place. A silent revolution, because many people had missed it, many people had not understood it, many people had not had just passed it over very lightly. Had NEFT not come, today's situation would be very grave. Let us see the functioning of NEFT, how NEFT functions, then you will appreciate its beauty. What are the conditions? The remitting branch and the receiving branch should have IFS code. IFS code means Indian Financial Service Code or Indian Financial System Code. The correct is system code. How many such IFSC enabled branches or NEFT enabled branches are there? As on 7th January 2017, 177 banks and 1,34,363 branches are covered. This covers almost the entire India. Almost all the branches, 95 to 98% of all the branches of bank. Located in every nook and corner of India, barring except some very few branches located in deep inside some hilly terrains and all those things which are not easily accessible. Otherwise, practically every part of India is covered, because something around 1,34,363 branches are NEFT enabled. Now, not only your customers, even walk-in customers, up to 50,000 rupees, you can go to any bank, any branch and send remittance to the customer. Then there is no limit, either minimum or maximum, on the amount of funds that could be transferred for NEFT. This is one of the very normal questions they will ask. What is the limit, minimum limit for NEFT? There is no minimum limit for NEFT. What is the maximum limit? There is no maximum limit for NEFT prescribed by Reserve Bank of India. Individual banks may prescribe their own limit. That is their internal rules and regulation. As Reserve Bank of India, they have not brought any minimum or maximum for NEFT. Branches participating in NEFT can be located anywhere across the length and breadth of the country. They may belong to any bank. And NEFT transactions are operated in hourly basis. There are 12 settlements in a day. It starts at 8 a.m. and goes up to 7 p.m. on weekdays, including our 2 Saturdays. 2 Saturdays are working days, even in those days, all these 8 batches are covered. What is the advantage of these 8 batches? If you want to remit money to any, suppose you are person somewhere near Ludhiana, you are in Chennai and it has to go to Ludhiana, you go and send a NEFT message. You can even use internet banking to send a NEFT message. In 2 hours, minimum 2 hours, the money will reach there. Earlier, you have to go to a bank, pay cash, get a demand draft, and that demand draft has to be posted, the demand draft has to reach, and that demand draft has to be deposited in the bank of the beneficiary. That bank has to send it to clearing. It will take, and then it will be paid by the demand draft issuing branch. It used to take 10 days if everything goes as desired. If supposing on the way the demand draft is missing, then you start from zero again. It may take another 6 months to see the color of money. The beneficiary may take another 6 months to see the color of money. But on the other hand, in NEFT, wherever you are located, in 2 hours, the money will reach the beneficiary. The role of an IFS code is to uniquely identify the branch of a bank. IFSC is a 11-digit code. I have given the IFSC code of State Bank of India, Andheri East. And the IFSC code is SBIN. This is the first 4 characters, which is an alpha character. Then the next digit is a check digit, which is a 0. The next 6 digits are the branch code. This is bank. This is check digit. This uniquely identifies the branch. If this code is available, you can send remittance, NEFT remittance to any branch. The beneficiary can expect to get credit of NEFT transaction within 2 business hours. Now, how does NEFT operate? Let us take an example and try to go through how the message goes from the remitting branch and ultimately it reaches the beneficiary. We will see step by step that will give us an idea how NEFT operates. Let us take an example. Rajesh having account with Canara Bank Velachery, Chennai, wants to remit rupees 20,000 to his daughter Padma living in Mumbai and having account with Vijaya Bank, Dadar branch. Now, how this transaction happens in the bank, I will tell you. That will help you to know how NEFT operates. First, step 1, Rajesh submits a NEFT application with Canara Bank Velachery. This can go physically, he can apply, or he can do the same thing through internet also. Internet banking also, he can do the first step. From second step onwards, it is common for both going to the bank and giving as well as operating in the internet. So if he goes to the bank and gives the application is received. Then second step is Canara Bank Velachery prepares an SFMS message. It is called Structured Financial Messaging System message. that SFMS message is prepared, and this message, it has got some format, and this is digitally signed by a Canara Bank officer and then sent to Canara Bank service branch. Canara Bank, the third step is Canara Bank service branch pools all the NEFT messages received from its various branches. Canara Bank service branch is for the purpose of providing these kind of services like remittance services, clearing services, and it is something around 100 branches or 150 branches are attached to one service branch. This service branch receives the messages from all its attached branches. It pools the messages so received and then remits it to Reserve Bank of India National Clearing Cell. The fourth step is this message is received by Reserve Bank of India National Clearing Cell. Like this, the service branches of various banks would have sent all the messages. Now, Reserve Bank of India rearranges the messages destination bank and branch wise. Canara Bank would have sent, say, 150 messages. Service branch would have given 150 messages drawn on Bank of Baroda, drawn on Indian Overseas Bank, drawn on State Bank of India, drawn on State Bank of Travancore. Like that, various messages will be there. All these are parsed according to destination bank and branch using computer. And this message is sent to the NEFT service branch of Vijaya Bank, because in this case the remittance has to go to Vijaya Bank from the RBI National Clearing Cell Mumbai. This message goes to the NEFT service branch of Vijaya Bank, because the Vijaya Bank number is there. Then NEFT service branch of Vijaya Bank credits the amount to the customer's account through the core banking solution. Nowadays we have got core banking solution in all the banks. So the NEFT service branch credits the amount through using the core banking solution to the beneficiary's account. Here the beneficiary is Padma, and Padma's account number is available, and it is credited to the account and advises the remittance details to the Dadar branch of Vijaya Bank, because the Padma is having account with the other branch of Vijaya Bank. The amount is credited to the account, Padma's account, through core banking solution, and a message is sent to the other branch of Vijaya Bank. And the core banking solution also sends a SMS message to Padma saying through NEFT so much amount has been credited to your account. So Padma receives the message in her cell phone. She goes to the money bank and draws the money. All this happens in 2 hours. The total NEFT transactions are done in 12 batches. So if you go to a bank and give around 9:45, if you give a NEFT request for remittance, in another within 2 hours the amount is credited to the beneficiary's account wherever he or she is situated in India, and irrespective of in which bank he is having account. Earlier, if you are issuing a demand draft, you can issue only on your own branch. If you don't have a branch, you cannot issue a demand draft. But here all these problems, it is inter-bank, inter-branch, there is no bank restriction, there is no branch restriction. More than 133,000 branches are involved, NEFT enabled, and today through NEFT you will be able to remit money in 2 hours to any corner of India.